machine. As soon as they give me the high sign, we're going.
Can you go get him?
If I can please have everybody find a seat. We are about to begin the 2017 commencement. So if you're standing either in the aisles or at the side, please find a seat and we will get right started. Thank you. Please rise for the class of 2017. you didn't actually get the okay to sit down yet, please stand up again if you can. And are we going to have some music in the back? No? Please be seated. Our seniors took walking slowly to a whole new level. Thank you very much to our bagpipers and also our student musicians, to choral director Mr. Mitchell, to Mr. Mellon, the chair of the Creative Arts Department, and to Mr. Shirappa, director of the string orchestra, as well as the director of the West Hartford Symphony, in which several of our KO students are active members. Let's disconnect from the outside world as best as we can for the next hour or so. Let's stay in the moment and focus and fully enjoy the celebration of our 79 seniors in the class of 2017. In other words, let's turn off or at least mute our cell phones. I'll give you a moment to do so. On behalf of Kingswood Oxford School, Board Chair Brad Hoffman, and the entire Board of Trustees, as well as the KO faculty and staff, I welcome everyone present here today to the 2017 commencement exercise, the 105th Kingswood Oxford graduation to be exact. This year is particularly special because it marks Kingswood School's centennial. Oxford was founded in 1909, and thus we celebrated Kingswood Oxford's centennial in 2009. Kingswood Centennial celebration will culminate in an event right here in the Hoffman Fieldhouse on June 9th with John O'Hurley, class of 1972. John O'Hurley is best known for his role as Peterman in Seinfeld, as the first winner of Dancing with the Stars, as host of Family Feud, as Broadway actor, and as commentator for national televised dog shows. But he's also from KO. We hope to see many of you here on June 9th. I want to extend a special warm welcome to our parents of seniors, their grandparents, siblings, family members, friends and neighbors who share this special day and this culminating experience with our graduates, our seniors, our Form 6 students, our class of 2017, soon to be alumni of our magnificent school. I also want to extend a warm welcome to everyone who cannot physically be here today, but who nonetheless is able to join us from around the country, and yes, indeed, from around the globe. This is made possible through live streaming or simulcasting of our graduation by West Hartford Public Television. With me here on stage today, apart from a good number of board members, is our graduation speaker, Nancy Solomon, whom you'll hear from in a little later, and my lovely wife, Monica, who just had rotator cuff surgery last week. So please, no shoving or pushing when you're in her vicinity, especially during the final receiving line at the very end of the program. If you push her or shove her, I will find you. I cannot thank Board Chair Brad Hoffman and the Board of Trustees enough for the tremendous leadership, their never-ending support, their expertise and versatility, their generosity, and indeed their selfless time commitment to serve on behalf of and to benefit our entire community. They deserve a big applause from all of us because their behind-the-scenes work, commitment, and dedication, without their behind-the-scenes work, commitment, and dedication, KO would not find itself in the strong place it currently does. So thank you, Board of Trustees. This spectacular state-of-the-art Hoffman Fieldhouse, the Brayton Arena, the Fitness Center, the Aerobics Room, the Hospitality Room, the Roberts Leadership Center, and the landscaping and other enhancement were all ideas, plans, and one part of KO's 2020 vision last year. And now, just 1 year later, the KO boards and the school's idea, plan, and vision indeed materialized and has become a reality, as you can clearly see. As we make our way towards the year 2020, the KO board and administration will continue on this very positive trajectory and further enhance our campus, consistently focusing on students, learning, leadership, and preparing our alumni for the complexities, ambiguities, and challenges of the future. I know that as you make your way around campus, you will agree that it indeed looks gorgeous and is in fantastic shape. I also want to thank the KO Parent Association, particularly President Heather Clifford and the entire group of parent volunteers for their tireless, dedicated work, their never-ending enthusiasm, and their deep engagement and support of Kingswood Oxford, of all students and of all fellow parents. Sometimes we forget or don't think deeply enough of the many hours of detailed and often tedious and hard work, mostly behind the scenes, that goes into ensuring that we are able to simply arrive on this grand day, unencumbered, without a worry in the world, to simply take our seats and celebrate. I need to express my heartfelt appreciation and deep respect for the incredible work of Director of Buildings and Grounds, Larry Marciano, and his department, Dean Belmay, Roy DeMura, Greg Hansen, and Craig Mandola. I also need to thank Will Gilliard, Ron Garcia, Sherry Malinowski, Natalie Demers, Blair Elliott, Brian Wolin, and Sage Dining, as well as the many others who have ensured a perfect setting for us. And I certainly must and need to thank Kingswood Oxford's faculty, staff, and coaches, and advisors. They are the true lifeblood and the epicenter and core of our fine school. As you know, they selflessly and altruistically go above and beyond every day and have done everything within their power to guide, help, nurture, and draw out the very best in our students in the graduating class of 2017. I cannot tell you how many one-on-one teacher and student I've observed walking the hallways this past week, for example. Although we will graduate our seniors today, the rest of our student body are preparing for exams, and our teachers are there for extra help and extra exam prep, morning, noon, and often late into the evening, and of course electronically and via email beyond that. It's a genuine privilege for me to work alongside this incredible group of smart, versatile, and dedicated individuals. I cannot imagine a faculty and staff more committed, more passionate, more giving, and more caring than the one right here at KO. So please help me thank the faculty and staff. In this day and age, it's seldom that talented individuals who could have made a career anywhere remain in one place. Yet there's something to be said about longevity, lifelong commitment and dedication, and indeed dedicating your work life to one institution or organization. I want to ask 3 individuals to please stand up and be recognized for each completing their 40th year of superb service, teaching, and community membership at Kingswood Oxford School. Yes, you heard me correctly, 40 years, or a total of 120 years combined, dedicated to Kingswood Oxford School and to helping students over the decades to grow, succeed, and reach their full potential. Let me call out all of the names before you applaud. Rob Keif, Lynn Short, and Dr. Wayne Pierce. Of course, and finally, I cannot forget our senior parents. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for entrusting us with and sharing your wonderful children for the past 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, or 2 years. Thank you. We have so enjoyed, appreciated, been touched by, and felt it a genuine privilege to partner with you and to be allowed with you to witness your children's incredible and magical transformation as our now older students over the years have turned into self-confident, versatile, talented, impressive young men and women. We saw a glimpse of that last night at class night. Indeed, an extraordinarily impressive group of future leaders, contributors, and change agents. All week long, we have recognized, celebrated, and gone through our school's important traditions, rituals, and ceremonies. Now we embark upon the final culmination of the educational journey, the graduation, the 2017 commencement. We are all very proud of you, class of 2017. You have done so incredibly well as scholars, athletes, artists, and most importantly in my eyes, over the years, you have grown into caring, kind, grounded, and connected ethical citizens who reach out to others, who understand that you all have spheres of influence in which you can make a genuine, palpable, and positive difference. So class of 2017, let's get on with the program so we can get you graduated. It's now my distinct pleasure to welcome to the podium longtime faculty member Ted Levine, who will provide some reflection through the invocation. Mr. Levine.
Good morning, and welcome to all of you who've come from near and very, very far. And I want to welcome the millions of wyverns, millions, watching around the globe. I'm assuming it's millions. And to the class of 2017. Think about this a bit. You have grown up in a world where the distinction between information, knowledge, and wisdom have become very blurred. Maybe in college, the next step for all of you this fall, or perhaps the next, you'll begin to figure out the difference. So what will you do in college? What will college be all about? A very wise professor once said, you should be given a brief note on your first college day with just one assignment, the one and only assignment you'll ever need, and here it is. Here's a list of 500 books. Come back in 4 years and show us some evidence that you've read them all. Your next 4 years are about widening. You will soon have the big chance to explore complexities you have yet to see. And at the same time, you'll sharpen and you'll find your single challenge, the profound question you have to answer, the ambiguity needing to be clarified. You'll have so much information to explore what we can do. I know you'll find the wisdom necessary to figure out what we should do. In all this, you will need to think globally and act globally. During these past years, your endurance test called high school, we were floored by your performances, awed by your athleticism, challenged by your ideas, appreciative of your sensitivities. Your very long days have left little room for mind wandering and reflection. Last night, your class night, your artistry, your reflection and good humor reflected your readiness to move on. Last night, Tim Bucknam, you spoke of how KO is a time of transformation, the evolution of a new Tim, and you reminded us how both our portraits and promises are always changing, and how this community embraces an ongoing reinvention of self and celebrates at once who you are and who you'll become. Ben Cody, you are right. KO makes things happen. A community always encouraging, always widening. And how you and others created unique moments shaping your distinct journey through KO. And all the artists last night, your self-portraits offered brief yet deep glimpses of who you are. glimpses of you we would never catch just passing each other between classes. Kayla, Spencer, you showed us how humor bonds this community. And Kayla, an interesting class, those are your words, where little moments in the corners of each day form a community of caring beyond self. And all the singers and artists take your many brushes and palettes as you leave. But just slap on another coat of paint and give the world yet another monochrome recoding. Imagine a better world, a different world, and gather the wisdom to get there. Next year, wherever you will be, you'll have the time and space to widen and to sharpen, and to think about the why. Why does your art resonate with you and bring you great joy? Why do you steadfastly pursue the complexities and ambiguities of knowing? Sometimes that answer will come to you only after some heavy thought. Other times, it may come to you in an instant. And while there'll be mentors and scholars and to guide your question shaping, there'll be no one professor of wisdom and perseverance defining your why for you. So, to the class of 2017, you've been remarkable artists and scholars. You certainly impressed us. You will always have a community here who cares about you deeply, and to all of you, we wish you the very, very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Levine. Next, it's my great pleasure to introduce 7-year senior Izzy Pratt, one of our fine soon-to-be graduates, a talented all-around versatile student athlete. Izzy will introduce our 2017 commencement speaker. Izzy, please come to the stage. Thank you.
Good morning. Today, I am very honored to have the opportunity to introduce a very special person that has not only had an impact on my life over the course of my 7 years at KO, but that of the entire school at one point or another. Ms. Solomon recently completed her 21st year as librarian of the upper school at KO, while also advising freshmen and sophomores. Before her time here at KO, Ms. Solomon double majored in economics and elementary education, then becoming an elementary school teacher. However, soon after that, she discovered her true passion and longtime career and became a librarian. Although she is known to most as the nice, quiet lady who sits in the library and says hello, to this class she is known by another name, Mom. It all started when the senior boys took over a back corner of the library as refuge over the course of this year. Each day, they would go to the back and start to talk. So naturally, she would walk over, and just as she was about to tell them to stop talking, she would start asking them how their days were and just having quiet conversations with them, because she truly cares about our class and really is too good to us. She is the nicest, most caring person I have met at this school. She made the library a more enjoyable place for the seniors this year, and it wouldn't have been the same without her, stated senior Ben Putterman. The library soon became a place where many of the seniors found themselves, not because it was a quiet place to study, but because we all just wanted to hang out with Miss Solomon. Although we would constantly get the look of, you need to stop talking or leave, sometimes we actually would have to leave. The second we drew her over, we knew it would be okay, because we would just start talking to her about our thesis or about senior prom or our most recent game, and just end up asking her about her weekend. The truth is, Ms. Solomon is not just our librarian, she is a friend, and she is someone that truly cares about us and that the class of 17 cares about as well, which is why we felt that she would be a great person to send us off to college. So would you all please assist me in welcoming the class of 2017 graduation speaker, Ms. Nancy Solomon.
Good morning, everyone. Members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Biscard, fellow faculty and staff members, families, friends, students, and most especially the graduating class of 2017. When Mr. Garcia told me I received the honor of speaking at your commencement this year, I was flattered, excited, and nervous all at the same time. I thought it might be helpful to think back to my own commencement. I racked my brain, trying to remember who the speaker was, or a little bit about the words of wisdom imparted to my class. That person obviously didn't make much of an impression on me, because I couldn't remember anything at all about that day except the threatening thunderstorm. I finally located my yearbook and looked over the graduation supplement that was mailed to us over the summer. As it turns out, we didn't have an outside speaker at commencement. I'm embarrassed to tell you that the speaker was me. Along with another girl in my class. The school always had the valedictorian and salutatorian speak individually, but the other girl was very, very shy, and she asked me to stand up at the podium with her. Our speech was entitled "The Group versus the Individual," and I don't even remember which side I supported. I know this speech may not be the most memorable one you'll ever hear in your lives, but I do hope you'll at least remember that I stood up here and talked to you and be kind in your thoughts. When I was growing up, my mother was the keeper of the stories in our family and shared them all with me. Whether she knew this would be the outcome or not, I learned quite a bit of how to live my life from the experiences of my parents and grandparents. They didn't know then by simply living their lives and creating a story that was then passed down to me, they would so shape the person I am today. Through these life stories of my family, I learned many things, but two were the most worthwhile to me: to appreciate what I have and to value education. I'm going to tell you briefly about some of the events that happened in my own family which made an impression on me, served to form my character, and influence the choices I've made in my own life. I'm hopeful that you will do the same with your own loved ones' stories, taking their experiences, both good and bad, to give you direction on how you live. You, of course, are all individuals and shouldn't try to become a replica of another person. You should take the best of their personal histories to implement in your own life, while taking note of their worst experiences in order to avoid history repeating itself. The first lesson: appreciating what I have. My maternal grandmother was born in a small village in Italy near the end of the 19th century. At the age of 16, she desperately wanted to come to America, so her parents arranged a marriage for her with a man whom she had never met, who had already emigrated from Italy. They lived on a farm in Bolton, but unfortunately, my grandmother's husband died unexpectedly, leaving her a widow with young children and a farm which she could not work alone. As was the custom then, her in-laws sent another son across the ocean to marry my grandmother in order to support the family. This man was also a stranger to her, and he became my grandfather. Fast forward to 45 years ago, when my husband and I married. He was in law school. I was looking for my first teaching job. We were both 22 years old and had no money at all. We were on our honeymoon in the Bahamas when 2 days after our arrival, our hotel burned to the ground. We had to evacuate the island by sea on a fishing boat, since there was only one exit road and it was impassable. Elliot and another man initially hired the fishermen to take the four of us to the other side of the island, but by the time we took off, the boat was jam-packed, barely chugging along since it was so full of evacuees and old smelly fish. At the end of our Bahamas adventure, we landed at the Philadelphia airport with nowhere to live, and I had no job. We stayed with my husband's friend, a girl, whom he insists to this day was never his girlfriend. Until I was hired for my first teaching position 2 days before school began. Although not part of my message today, I'd like all of you to go into a marriage better prepared than we were, but we're still going strong now. Believe it or not, 6 months later, our apartment complex, including our apartment, burned to the ground. We lost absolutely everything. I was at home when the fire broke out, and my husband was at a Phillies-Mets baseball game. Having no cell phone, because they weren't invented yet, I didn't know how to reach him, so I used a phone in another building to call a friend. This man notified the security office at Veterans Stadium to tell my husband to go home right away. The announcer said over the loudspeaker, "Willie Montanez is coming up to bat," followed by, "Will Elliot Solomon please report to the security office?" It took a couple of minutes for it to register that the announcer was talking to him. For some reason, the friend told security the details of the crisis, but instructed them to only tell Elliot there was an emergency and to go home. Poor Elliot drove back to our apartment, speeding all the way, with random stops at payphones to call me to find out what was wrong. Our phone line, which at this point was completely burned up, registered as a busy signal. So he assumed I was fine and someone must have died. When he arrived close to our apartment, the police stopped him and wouldn't let him drive the rest of the way because of the fire and emergency vehicles. He ran home, abandoning the car, and found me standing on the lawn. Luckily, for the sake of our marriage, his first question was, "Are you all right?" His second question, which put him on very rocky ground, was, "Did you save my law books?" I did not. I hadn't even thought of that. These events did not foretell an auspicious beginning to our marriage, but I realized how lucky I was to have someone by my side who I loved, unlike the position in which my grandmother found herself. So even though we'd had two pretty significant disasters, we had each other. We were confident our lives would improve, and of course, they did. Graduates, you're not yet at the stage of your lives where you're thinking about living in your first apartment or getting married, but you're not that far away from the full responsibilities of adulthood. You'll find yourselves in situations that are not ideal, and sometimes the opposite of where you'd like to be. I've always believed that if something I wanted didn't happen, it just wasn't meant to be, and something better awaited me. I know my husband also believes that everything will work out in the end, and if things aren't working out at the time, then it isn't the end. The appreciation of what you have and the possibilities that await you will sustain you in the years to come. The second lesson, valuing education. My mother was the youngest of 7, and one of her older sisters was put in charge of her care since my grandparents were busy with the farm. One of my aunt's chores was milking the cows, and she'd take my mom to the barn with her to keep an eye on her. She taught my mom how to read and do arithmetic at age 3 by writing on the walls of the barn with a piece of charcoal. They were educated in a one-room schoolhouse with a row of seats for each grade. My aunt took my mother to school with her before she was old enough to attend and asked the teacher to let her try it out. She spent the first day seated in the first grade row, and then the teacher moved her over a row to sit with the second graders since she'd already learned so much. My father was orphaned at 13 and had to leave school to support his disabled grandmother, younger sister, and himself. Because of their experiences, they impressed upon me the importance of a good education. My brother and I were only allowed to watch 1 hour of television a week. My dad called it the idiot box and felt it was a big time waster. I can't imagine how he'd feel about computers and cell phones today. We were supposed to read, to talk to each other, to enjoy the outdoors, to accomplish things. I know this probably seems completely alien to you today. I'll admit that I love TV, computers, and cell phones, but not surprisingly, I still love to read and love to talk to people. When I decided almost 25 years after graduating from college to go back to school for my master's degree in library science, my parents, along with my husband, were my biggest supporters. They took care of so many things I no longer had time to do. I was the oldest by far in all my classes, and I was so worried I wouldn't remember how to be a student. My first test and my first course, which was the midterm exam, was quite an experience. We had 3 hours to take the exam, and one by one, the other students finished, handed their papers to the professor, and left. I still had a few minutes remaining when he carefully placed the whole stack of already graded exams in his briefcase and snapped it shut. I had spent the last hour just reading and rereading my responses, and I apologized to him for having kept him there. He smiled and said I was entitled to the full time and not to worry. When I nervously gave him my paper, I asked if he could grade it right then because I had to know if I could still take tests. I earned the only perfect score in the class, but it took me an embarrassingly long time to accomplish it. And while it was nice to score 100, it was much better knowing this was something I was still capable of doing. I know I've said this to many of you over your years at KO. Stop wasting time. Stop playing that stupid game on your phone. Read a book. Do your homework. If you've finished with it all, look ahead and get ahead. Sometimes you listened and actually followed my strongly worded suggestions. Sometimes you'd smile and keep doing what you were doing. I'm sure you didn't realize it wasn't just me who was speaking to you. It was also my dad, telling you not to waste a minute of your wonderful opportunities at KO. If you don't fully realize how great your KO education has been and how it will serve you in good stead the rest of your lives, you will when you get to your college or university. There will be other students from other high schools who will freak out when they have their first big paper to write, when they have a long-range project that only gets mentioned on the day it's assigned and then never spoken again until the day it's due. You will be prepared. The rigors of college will not be as rigorous to you because you have already disciplined yourselves to be scholars. I've been at KO for 21 years, and I can honestly say I've looked forward to coming to school every day. Notice I didn't say coming to work, I said coming to school, because it doesn't feel like work to me. It's a pleasure getting to know each one of my students, and I am truly interested in all of them as individuals. The students have always listened to me, and I've always listened to them. I hope every graduate here will take my words to heart and listen to the stories of the people who love them. Do not simply hear their words, but take the best from them to guide you on your way. And remember, as you're writing your own story, make it the finest one you can, so that when you tell about your own life to your loved ones, you'll be proud of the choices you made. Make certain the story of your life reflects on you as being a positive force in the world. Be sure that you're generous, not only with your time, but with your spirit. I know I can count on you, and I'm proud of all of you. Over the past 4 years, when you're making noise in the library to either do something constructive or go away. At one time or another, I'm sure you've all heard it. You always took it in the spirit in which I said it, which was never with anger, although once in a while with real aggravation. Sometimes you remained quietly in the library, and other times you went away, but you always came back. So for the last time, I'm going to say it again to you, my seniors, with a slight change in the wording. You are all leaving us off to the next exciting chapter in your lives, ready to leave KO, where we have taught and cared about each of you ever since you joined our community. I look forward to hearing about your accomplishments in the future and how you've handled the challenges you'll certainly encounter. Most of all, I hope that you are fulfilled by the choices you make. So, graduates, my final message to you is it's time to go away and do something constructive. I love you.
Thank you, Nancy. I promise you that the class of 2017, or we will not forget who was the graduation speaker or what was said. Thank you for sharing your family story. And we will remember the burned hotel, the burned apartment, the smell of fish. And Elliot, I wish I had been there because I could have told you, do not ask that question. Did you say my law books? Really? Since I'm at the mic, I have to share a quick story because it's going to benefit the class of 2017, and it will benefit some of the men in the audience. We men sometimes make small mistakes in our minds. If you make a mistake, and if your life partner, who could be your wife, if she thinks it's a small or a big mistake, sometimes sorry is not enough. What you have to say, and after you say it, you have to step away. I was wrong. No buts, nothing else, just I was wrong. It works every time. I genuinely appreciate and love the tradition here at KO, where the seniors themselves vote for and select a faculty member who has played a special and significant role in their lives in the upper school as a graduation speaker. As we know, at many other institutions, you get a famous person to come in and speak. However, KO's tradition to me symbolizes and exemplifies the close-knit community students and adults forge here at school. Remarks from a known, trusted adult within the community, in the end, is far more meaningful and authentic than a more generic guest's words of reflection. And now, the key moment we have all been waiting for, the awarding of the diplomas to our graduates. Will Mrs. Demers, Associate Head of School and Director of the Upper School, please come forward to assist me with the awarding of the 2017 diplomas.
Ryan Gengris Albanese. Spencer Leonardo Altman. Grace R. Amel. Jack Michael Antico. Jeffrey Jared Baker. Robert William Belsazak. James Clayton Barnes. John Clark Barry. Sasha Joy Bash. Mark Jarrell Billingsley. Joshua Thomas Bobriff. David Lachlan Bowley. Jacob Hunter Brown. Timothy Charles Bucknam. Alexandra Claire Burke. Kareem Jamal Burton. Alex Daniel Cahill. Amanda Mary Civitello. Ryan Michael Clifford. Benjamin Lerman Cody. Owen Smith Cothouse. Claudinique Julianne Cousins. Megan Elizabeth Dalton. Ophelia Deng. Samantha Lynn DeBacco. Donald Richard Dugan III. Rose Bingham Esselstyn. Shelby Corinne Fairchild. Hannah Teresa Ferraro. Meredith Hutton Ferris. Emma Hahn Fisher. Nicole Michelle Gallick. Luke M. Chiaffrey. William Lee Gitlin. Kayla Anna Nicole Glamord. Julia Sarah Goldsmith. Vivian Fong Devi Goldstein. Brian Nelson Gould. Noah William Hawkslads. Celia Coyne Jarmuck. Madison Lynn Kolkstein. Isabel Goldine Kaufman. Tara Elizabeth Kilkenny. Adam Justice Kim. Trevor Robert Krupp. Matthew Roy Lord. Michael Dennison Loughran. Kishan K. McCarty. Samantha Jane March. Carolyn Geneva McCusker. Abigail Sullivan McGuire. Lauren Nicole McPherson. Ariba Afzal Memon. Grace Livingston Miller. Peyton Truitt Moore. Ambika Natarajan. Drew Arthur Nemero. Connor Malcolm O'Loughlin. Faith Allwood Pease. Laura Sophia Polly. Isabella Rosalie Pratt. Benjamin Bennett Putterman. Farah Zubaida Quadri. Nicholas James Ravelis. Rebecca Jean Richard. Alec John Rossi. Matthew Taft Rossi. Manisha Satish. Jane Morris Schaefer. Poppy Field Sheehan. Emily Grace Cienko. Ryan Daniel Silvers. Jacob Adam Silverstein. Robert Lawrence Sayuda. Noah Danielle Stanton. Bonnie Michelle Steinberg. Cassandra Lynn T. Peterson. James Irwin David Witt. David William Yandau.
Congratulations to the class of 2017. We are nearing the end of our celebration, but before Rob Keif provides the final farewell remarks, it's a tradition that I, as head of school, address the seniors directly one final time with a brief reflection and charge. Senior parents, last year Monica and I sat where you sit. Our son Nicholas graduated, and the feeling of joy and excitement, as well as sadness that you also may be feeling right now, is very familiar to me and did engulf us. Parents, I want you to know that you've done a remarkable job preparing your children to take that first step and embark on the next journey. You can clap, that's all right. Faculty and staff, I commend each of you for the roles that you played in preparing these young people who sit before you today for the journey they're about to take. So class of 2017, last evening at class night, emceed beautifully and with great energy and humor by Spencer and Kayla, a number of you once again displayed your talents and versatility. But maybe more importantly, there was a palpable sense of closeness, of deep connections, and of you sensing the richness, the depth, and the intricacies of the journey you've gone through together for 2, 3, or up to 7 years. Your poise, your confidence, and your many gifts not only make me very proud for leading our fine school, but you've moved me as I can only take it in all, take it all in awe. You're so young, yet you have already attained a level of excellence, a level of sophistication, and a level of maturity, and can do attitude that many adults will actually never reach. Your parents have blessed you with the opportunity of the education and preparation you have received. Last night, I read a long list and made you stand up if the statement I read pertained to your own experience at KO. And it was incredible, for example, to see almost the entire class stand up when I mentioned international travel with KO, taking AP classes, volunteering more than 100 hours of community service, being the captain of your team, taking on a leadership role, donating blood, being on stage, or being an artist, an athlete, and an artist all at once. I don't think the audience could quite believe just how rich and deep your KO experience has been in and outside the classroom. I know many of you will remain lifelong friends, like so many KO alumni before you, but you will also go in 79 different directions, take different paths. But we know you already. You certainly have what it takes to take on the world, first college and then life far beyond. You've already shown us, so although the future may hold some anxiety, butterflies in your stomach, or even fear of the unknown, I have great, great faith in you. Things won't always be easy, not everything will be perfect, but you know how to overcome obstacles. You've demonstrated your resiliency. You've come from behind, and in the end, even when things do look bleak and insurmountable, as Tim told us last night in his speech, everything will be all right. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay to stumble and fall, as long as you pick yourself up again and learn from your previous experiences. Never be too proud or stubborn to ask for help. We are here. Your parents and family members are here. Your friends are here to lend a helping hand, to be a sounding board, or maybe be a comforting shoulder to cry on for some relief. As I often say, never worry alone. There's always help to be gotten. Even when or if you find yourself in a dark corner, reach out, engage, connect, and you will be okay. Lead your own lives, as Mrs. Solomon said. Be yourself. Pursue your unique passions and always take very good care of yourself. Be positive. Be kind. Sometimes suspend your own reality and explore that of others. Let go of needless self-criticism, grudges, and any negativity. They will simply weigh or slow you down. Surround yourself with positive, upbeat, caring, and kind people. Last night, Mr. Garcia compared you to his father's speedboat. The boat may not have been absolutely perfect. It may not have had perfect brakes, but it was his speedboat. There was pride, and no one better say anything negative or be overcritical of that fine family boat on the lake. I had hoped to hear more about his pet turtle, Charlie, but Mr. Garcia, I believe, is saving that story for another time. I, too, have a story for you, not about a speedboat, but about Nick, my son, who graduated last year. Many of you know him. He just finished his first year at NYU, and successfully so, I think. Well, I should really say it's more a story about Monica and me. Before Nicholas was born, Monica and I took all the baby classes, and we were at Cornell Hospital in New York City, and people couldn't have been nicer and kinder and more gentle towards us. Monica was one of these moms-to-be who loved everything about her pregnancy until the last week or so, when I bought her a fan, because I'm a good man. It was about time to get to the delivery, or to get to the hospital. We were at the hospital. Nicholas was born. It was a glorious day, and we were again treated with the utmost respect, dignity. We felt loved. We felt wrapped in just care and concern. They said we were the perfect family, perfect mother, perfect father, perfect baby. Stayed at the hospital for about 3 days. And they said, please come back to visit. Fast forward 10 months. We managed to get Nicholas home. You know, graduate, you think it's hard to go to college or your first job. Try to be a new parent with no preparation. 10 months later, we felt a little bit more confident in our parenting. So we decided, let's go back to Cornell Hospital. They want to see us. We packed a basket, and Danes always have beautiful napkins, so we had our best napkins in the basket, chicken, salad, all kinds of good stuff. We drive to the hospital. As you know, New York City, it's not easy to find a parking spot. But we go to the hospital, we find a parking spot, and we head up to the 8th floor. We come in, and we expect to be embraced and welcomed, and balloons and cheers. We walk around, nobody is there to greet us. Suddenly a nurse comes up to us, excuse me, can I help you? And I say, we are here to visit. You invited us. She looked at the basket with the baby and said, okay, they seem relatively safe. You have to leave. The elevator is over there. We were baffled, flabbergasted, as a matter of fact. Like, but they invited us. We went downstairs. Another family came down with their bundle of joy. We were going to tell them, don't believe Cornell Hospital. But we didn't want to blow their bubble, so we didn't. And then suddenly, of course, it hit us, and we were laughing because Cornell Hospital didn't really mean come back and visit. Why am I telling you this story? We mean it when we say come back and visit. We do love you. We do care about you. We want you back here. Unlike Cornell Hospital. I think I can give you one other piece of advice. When you, whether it's in college or beyond, you want to find the perfect life partner. It doesn't matter whether it's a man, a woman, or somebody who's questioning. You want a life partner who is wise, who is smart, who loves you unconditionally, who has common sense, who has good judgment, and who will point out your flaws and your mistakes and your blind spots, because we all have them. And unless you have a life partner who is there by your side to help you, it's actually much harder to navigate this world. So I encourage all of you to find an individual like that, because it will benefit you greatly. We will end this wonderful ceremony. I know you have many festivities to get to. And in a minute, I'm going to ask Mr. Kaif to come up and bid us our final farewell. Class of 2017, congratulations. We are proud of you. I know your families are proud of you. And congratulations. Mr. Kaif.
Members of the class of 2017, I'd like to conclude our ceremony with a slightly revised version of the song that several of you so movingly sang during the cabaret performance in the Black Box Theater last Friday night. It's called Our Time by Stephen Sondheim. And don't worry, I'm not going to sing. The moment you are waiting for is here. It's your time. Breathe it in. You have worlds to change and worlds to win. Years from now, you'll remember, and you'll come back to visit teachers, hang a plaque. This is where you began being everything you can. Godspeed and keep in touch. Thank you.
If you can all please be seated, we will now proceed with the recessional, where we're going to have the faculty and the graduates and the Board of Trustees file out first. Our alumni, although they have received their diplomas, they haven't actually graduated yet. We have a tradition where alumni, they do not become alumni until they have shaken the hands of every single faculty member here today. And what faculty will do is they will line up on that wall over there, Chairman Lasky tells me, and the seniors will proceed down the line and shake everyone's hand, and once you're done shaking my hand and Mrs. Biscard, and please don't bump her elbow, then you are official graduates. So, recessional, please.
happy smile.